How you guys doing? This is 514 Mystic from BookieBullies.com, and this is a little something I like to call the rundown. Coming off of a day where we went 4 of 7, hit a few hockey, just lost one, and then basketball. Basketball been killing us, well, been killing me, anyways. Today got a long list of hockey, and we got a short slate of basketball, so we're gonna get right into it real quick. Starting from the top, we got the Boston Bruins versus the Columbus Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets, they're underdog at home, as they should be. The Boston Bruins are just better than them. But Blue Jackets have been playing a lot better. I don't like them to win. I also don't like the number for Boston. Money line is a little bit low, so I'm not too keen on that play. 5.5 is the total. It's 215 to the over. You might be able to get it a little bit cheaper depending on your book, but it's been a pretty price. It's a pretty nice price for that over, to be honest. I'm you know I'm leaning towards the over. You got Tuukka Rask net versus Merzlikins, so Elvis, and I believe this is the first time Elvis gets to see the Bruins. So I don't know. I like the over in this game still. Usually Tuukka Rask is usually able to keep games low, but I feel like they're gonna score goals today. This looks like a bounce back game for the Bruins. No offense to Merzlikins, but like I'm I like the over more than anything else. Moving along, we got the Detroit Red Wings versus the New York Islanders. Islanders coming off of a game where they lost to the Rangers. I told you guys yesterday in the battle for New York, usually the Rangers prevail. We're going to see how they do tomorrow or in the next game because they're both going to face off each other in the game after this. But today they got the Red Wings right in front of them. They're very heavy favorites on the road. I don't really like New York Islanders to win today. I think they continue losing. They're in a back-to-back, and you guys are seeing like it's every day. Like maybe the commentators, the announcers, everybody, they don't really care. They're saying it shouldn't matter, but it matters. They've been a lot of losses and back-to-backs this season. Go and check it. Anybody could fact check me. This is not it's not hard to do. There's been a lot of back-to-back L's. So I don't like New York in this spot. It seems to be a bounce back game, but maybe they bounce back in the return in the New York game. So I have a heavy lean towards Detroit. If you have New York Islanders, obviously you should because they're the better team here. But don't put it past Detroit to get a W here, and take advantage. 5.5 is the total. I'm gonna have to stay away from this game altogether. So just to give you guys a rundown, if I feel like maybe everybody in the world is on New York right now, but like I said it here first, Detroit. Don't sleep on Detroit. I feel like a back-to-back situation might hurt the Red Wings, the Islanders more than anything else. Next, we got the Kings versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. Kings, heavy dogs on the road again as they should be. Tampa got their winning streak snapped, but again they had a lot of good wins, but most of their wins weren't that impressive. 6.0 is the total. There's been a fade of the under, so a lot of people are going towards the over in this game. I like the over also, but 6.0 is a little low. And yeah, I like the over in this game. Next, we got the Minnesota Wild versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. Pittsburgh, their favorite at home versus the Wild. The Wild, don't sleep on the Wild. They're not a bad team. 245 on the money line for the Wild is what I'm seeing over here. 6.0 is the total. Most people are slated towards the over. In Minnesota games, I actually like the under. They've been going over to start the season quite a bit. Today you got Devin Dubnyk back at net, and he's gonna be going against Tristan Jarry. So me, I would go more towards the under and a Minnesota Wild victory. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like it seems crazy, but like I would have to like to me it would be a correlated parlay with these because I wouldn't want to single it out or I'd single the obviously I'd single the money line for Minnesota, but I think if Minnesota wins this game stays under. That's just one of those kind of plays. They don't happen very often, but yeah, that I feel anyways. But yeah, um, so next we got the Devils versus the Maple Leafs. Devils coming off of a big win where they beat the Tampa Bay Lightning. This is why I'm saying Lightning. They anyways, Lightning should come out heavy. So today we got Toronto. Toronto, they're also heavy favorites. I don't like to bet Toronto at favorite. I don't really have a play in this game. 6.5 is the total. Most people going towards the over. I don't have a play in this game. Next, the Vegas Golden Knights versus the Buffalo Sabres. I think this is the catch of the night. I would love to go with the Buffalo Sabres here. Vegas, they're on a three-game losing streak. Buffalo just won their last game. They're playing a little bit better. Plus, Vegas is really not that good on the road. Right now, as of right now, they're expected to have Fleury at net. But I believe they're gonna pull at the last minute and put Malcolm Subban. And I'm not saying Malcolm Subban is not that good. All I'm saying is that they have a losing record on the road, and they usually go with Malcolm Subban when they're playing those games. So I would like to. I'm gonna roll with Buffalo today. And another note: these losing teams, all these bottom feeders in the league, they're not gonna keep on losing. The All Star game is coming, and these guys are gonna start taking L's. So I'm giving you these picks. Obviously, they're underdogs. You could pick them or you could fade them. You know, I like to give picks that are paying value, and a lot of times that's why we fail at hitting. But as you'll see, there's a lot more money to be made in underdogs some of the times than favorites all of the time, if you guys are following that. Anyways, next thing we got Chicago Blackhawks versus the Ottawa Senators. I don't have a play in that game. Vancouver Canucks versus the Jets. The Jets are favorite, as they should be. Vancouver, they haven't been playing really well at all. It's almost like they were finding ways to lose games, and then they ended up bouncing back. Now they're trying to find their stride again. It's a very good game to watch. I would think I'd go with the over 6.0 in this game. Most people are going with the over, and I think I'm with the people on this one. Next, we got the Dallas Stars versus the Colorado Avalanche. This game 5.5 is the total. Colorado heavy favorites. I don't have a play in this game. And next, we got the Nashville. You know what? In the Colorado game, I would go Colorado minus 1.5. But they're so like I don't like that number. I don't like how they're so favored to win at home. It's just about as low as I would go. It's where I see here. It's paying 71 cents on your buck. That might drop, but for me, that's as low as I would go, and I don't even like that number. But I would go with the minus 1.5. But I feel something sketch about that game, so no play in that game. Next, the Nashville Predators versus the Edmonton Oilers. Oilers, obviously not that good. Nashville not that good either. Um, I like Edmonton as the road underdogs here. I'm gonna check real quick just to see if yeah, so Edmonton is going to be rolling with Mike Smith, and it's going to be Pekka Rinne at net. If Koskinen plays, I like the under. I don't know what's going on with him. We'll have to check some news. But this is the rundown, and I've already taken a lot of your time. The Sharks versus the Arizona Coyotes. We got the Arizona Coyotes heavy favorite versus the Sharks minus 1.5. I would have in this game or nothing. Sharks is one of those teams that are at the bottom, but every now and then they get a W, so you don't have to really worry about them burning you when they really do. Right now they're on a 2-game winning streak, so that's why they're not paying that much money and all of that. But I like the Sharks to lose this game today. Yeah, new coach, they think they got their thing going on, but I like Arizona to bounce back in this game. So it's two teams trending in two different directions. Arizona on a 3-game losing streak, and they're finally back at home. They lost that last game versus Pittsburgh when they were at home, and I think they got a chance to get it back together. They haven't played since Sunday, and I like them to take advantage of overconfident Sharks team and bring them back down to reality. So, anyways, gonna move along to the NBA. Got the Phoenix Suns versus the Atlanta Hawks. Phoenix 3.5 favorite. Atlanta actually plays really good on the road, on their home floor. They've been giving a lot of people a hard time. Excuse me. Totals 230.5. No play in that game. Uh, I like the under, but no play in that game. Utah Jazz versus Brooklyn Nets. Brooklyn, they're underdogs. Jazz haven't lost since they traded for Jordan Clarkson. Um, Kyrie Irving should be back in the lineup, but the thing is, he might be on rest since coming back. So like, he might be in a situation where he's not playing back to backs. Now, mind you, this is not a back to back. The Nets only played on Sunday, but I'm not sure if Kyrie Irving is going to be resting. So yeah, so either way, I like the road team to come through and lose this game. Yes, I said it. I think Brooklyn beats the Utah Jazz. I really don't think the Jazz are that nice, but they have adjusted their defense and they've been winning games, but they've been struggling to cover spreads. I'm going with Brooklyn plus 3.5. Totals at 222.5. I'm going with the over in this game also. This would have to be one of those correlated parlays. And look at that. Two of them on one night. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I like the over because the Brooklyn Nets really don't play defense. They got Kyrie Irving who's going to push the pace, and now you have a team like the Utah Jazz who's going to be fighting not to lose games, and they're one of the highest scoring third quarter teams in the league. So they might start really slow, and then the third quarter comes and they drop like 35, 40 points, and it's happened multiple times this season. So that's pretty much it. Next, we got the Houston Rockets versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Houston 5.0 favorites against the Grizzlies, who's been just knocking on everybody's door and telling them let me in. And I'm not talking about the big bad wolf. These guys been bad as hell. Like, honestly, Memphis, they're low key covering all the spreads on the other way. So people like me, I like to bet on the Pacers to cover spreads because they've just been so consistent, and like their schedule's been allowing it. The Memphis Grizzlies, don't sleep on them. You put them at the tee, and a lot more times than none, they're gonna cover for you. I don't think this is one of them nights. So totals at 240. It should probably go way over. I don't like the over. I actually like Houston at the money line here because I can't pick that spread. But no play in that game. Next, we got the New York Knicks versus the Milwaukee Bucks. 16.5 favorite for the Bucks. And me, when I see high numbers like that, if by the end of the night it's a 17.5 spread, not only am I going to take the Knicks to cover the 17.5 spread, but I'm also going to take the Knicks money line. So right now this line is at 16.5 as I'm seeing it here. If I see it at 17.5, I'll take the money line and the Knicks to cover the spread because I see these numbers way too often, and when they do happen, they typically don't cover. Maybe they cover a very low clip, maybe a 30% clip at best. At best. So no play in that game. Cleveland versus LA. Cleveland, they're in LA right now. After taking that loss to the Lakers yesterday, I think they come through and cover that 15-point spread. Yesterday they blew the first quarter lead. Cleveland ended up losing by 30 points. You know, I like Cleveland here. I like their bigs matching up against Montrezl Harrell, also slowing down that 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 bench productivity. And you got Lou Williams who could score on anybody, but they got young legs on the Cavs, so I like the Cavs to cover tonight. 224.5 is the total. Should probably go way over. But Cleveland, apparently the Clippers are supposed to be a defensive team, so not 100% sure. Next, we got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors. Golden State been covering spread after spread after spread. If you've been betting on Golden State at the T, you're probably in the 60 to 70% success rate. They haven't gotten blown out very often, and I think today that changes. Got the over 223.0. If Golden State could actually score buckets, because the Mavericks don't, like, I wouldn't fancy them a great defensive team or anything, but if the Mavericks could slow down the Warriors, then we're not gonna have an over game. Like, you know what I mean? Or if the Warriors just defeat themselves, the game's gonna go under. But this game should go way over 223. I think it's way too low. I think they're gonna trade. I think Golden State is gonna try to make it a game, and then in the fourth quarter, the threes are just gonna be too much to handle, and Dallas is ultimately gonna cover the spread. But that's just a bold prediction. What do I know? I'm just investing on sports, investing on these things. If you guys feel free to fade or follow, depending on how you feel about the picks and how I'm going towards them. But anyways, I'm gonna give you guys the Bookie Bully rundown. But just before I do that, I'd love you guys to go ahead and smash that like button, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell in that corner over there so you're advised anytime I post videos like these. So starting from the top, got the over 5.5 in the Boston versus Columbus game. I got the over 6.0 in the Kings versus Lightning game. Got the under 6.0 in the Minnesota versus Pittsburgh game. Got the Minnesota Wild money line. So that was the correlated parlay. Got the Buffalo Sabres money line. Got the over 6.0 Canucks versus Winnipeg. Got the Arizona Coyotes minus 1.5. Got the Brooklyn Nets 3.5 at the T. Got the over 222.5 in that Nets game. Got the Cleveland Cavaliers plus 15.5. Got the Dallas Mavericks minus 8.0 and the over 223.0 in that game. So that's 12 plays. They'll be posted on my Twitter, and feel free to fade or follow. And I'll tell you, like I tell you all the time, please don't bet what you can't afford to lose. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So do what you got to do. Don't try to get rich overnight. Just when you get your W's, remember to increase your bet incrementally. Don't forget that you had your initial investment, so not all of it is profit. And you try to do your best and enjoy it. Like, you know what I mean? Because when those losses come, they're not gonna be fun. So that's it for me. Be safe, be good, and I'll see you again tomorrow.